All right, you goddamn brainiacs, strap yourselves in because today we're going deep into the messed up world of psychology.
Oh, yeah.
You know that
Yeah.
thing that tries to explain why we humans do all the batshit, crazy shit we do?
It's a mystery.
And lucky for you, we've got a badass expert here who actually gets paid to think about this stuff.
Somebody's got to do it.
No easy feat, let me tell you.
It's true.
So let's cut the crap and get this party started. What the hell is psychology anyway?
Whoa.
Is it just a bunch of shrinks, sitting in those fancy offices?
On their leather couches?
Yeah, analyzing dreams for like $100 an hour?
Yeah.
Or is there some real science behind all this?
It's definitely more than just dream analysis.
Okay, good.
Although those Freudian dudes were definitely onto something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Psychology is the study of the mind and behavior.
The mind and behavior.
And not just for humans.
Get at.
Animals, too.
That's wild.
And...
Yeah. So like my dog.
Yeah, like your dog.
Okay, cool.
There's a shit ton of science involved.
I like it.
Think observation experiments, the whole 9 yards.
Gotcha.
It's all about figuring out how our brains work.
Makes
And
sense.
why we act the way we do.
Okay.
Even the really, really messed up stuff.
Right, because let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
People do some seriously fucked up things.
Oh, all the time.
Every day.
It's not all just psychobabble bullshit.
Definitely not all psychopaths.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
There's some real...
Because I was a little worried coming in.
Yeah.
That it was going to be like...
All smoke and mirrors?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I bet this whole psychology thing didn't just like magically appear one day.
No. Right.
Or-
It goes way back.
I'm guessing it goes way back, like ancient times.
Yeah.
Dudes in togas
Uh-huh.
arguing about the meaning of life and shit.
You nailed it.
Did I?
Those ancient Greeks,
I knew it.
they were all over this psychology thing.
Of course they were.
You know those toga-wearing philosophers?
Oh, yeah.
Plato, Aristotle?
It's a gang.
The whole gang.
Those guys. They were already debating about the mind back then.
Really?
And get this, the ancient Egyptians.
No way.
They were in on it too.
You're kidding.
Turns out they even documented depression like way back in the day
Oh, yeah.
on like some ancient papyrus scroll.
Wild.
So it looks like humans.
So we've been messed up
Yeah.
for a while.
For a long, long time.
It's a tale as old as time.
It really is.
So messed up minds since like forever.
Pretty much.
Classic.
Yeah.
But when did psychology actually get like legit?
Yeah.
When did they start with the actual labs and experiments and all that fancy shit?
Oh, okay.
1879,
No.
this German dude named Wilhelm Wundt
Wilhelm Wundt.
sets up the first psychology lab in Leipzig, Germany.
Oh, in Germany.
Germany.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy was a pioneer, a real trailblazer.
All right, so he was the first one to be like,
He was like,
we need a lab.
we got to study this shit.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wanted to apply the scientific method to the mind.
That makes sense. Breaking down mental processes,
Where?
like a mechanic taking apart an engine.
Damn.
That was the birth of experimental psychology, baby.
So this Wundt fella, he was basically like the OG brain hacker.
He was. Yeah, the original.
Big respect.
Yeah, big ups to Wundt.
But I'm guessing not everyone was down with his whole scientific approach back then.
No, not at all.
There had to be some other like wild theories flying around, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, good.
It was like a battle royale of ideas.
Like a intellectual cage match.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You had the Freudians obsessed with the unconscious.
Oh, the Freudians. Sex always got to be about sex.
Repressed childhood trauma.
Oh, yeah.
Some seriously freaky shit.
Those guys are wild.
They were.
And
Then there are the behaviorists,
the behavior
who
is...
basically thought we were just highly trained rats,
Wait, so they thought we're all just like rats?
responding to rewards and punishments.
I mean, I do like cheese.
Yeah.
So maybe they were onto something.
Yeah.
But that makes you question.
It makes you question.
Is free will even a real thing?
Yeah.
Trippy.
Makes you think.
And then, of course...
And then you got the humanists,
yeah.
the touchy-feely types,
Right?
all about self-actualization,
Okay.
reaching your full potential.
Right.
They were all about that good vibes, positive energy stuff.
Okay, so like the OG hippies?
Yeah, kind of.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
So we had the Freudians, we got the behaviorists, and the humanists.
It's trifecta.
Like a psychology
Yeah.
freeway. Awesome.
Yeah, it was a wild time.
Damn, I'm talking about a clash of the titans.
It was.
Come on, expert.
Yeah.
I got to hear about some of those batshit crazy experiments.
You want to hear about the experiments?
Give us the juicy details.
Okay.
What kind of freaky shit were these guys cooking up in their labs?
Okay. I'm ready. Hold on to your hats because some of these experiments were seriously messed up.
Let's hear it.
First up, we've got Pavlov's dogs.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
You know the drill?
Ring a bell dog drool.
Ring a bell dog's rules.
It's a classic.
Classic example of conditioning.
Conditioning, baby. What else we got?
But then you've got Little Albert,
Little Albert.
where they basically traumatize a poor infant
What?
by making him terrified of fluffy animals.
Well, no.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Ethics.
Yeah, where are the ethics?
What ethics?
That's fucked up.
And let's not forget
Oh, there's more.
Milgram's obedience study.
Milgram's obedience.
But
Right.
people were zapping the hell out of each other
Yeah, no
just
shit.
because some dude in a lab coat told them to.
That is messed up.
Makes you wonder what you're capable of when someone in authority is barking orders.
That's some deep shit.
It is?
So we've gone from toga-wearing philosophers
Yep.
to messed up baby experiments.
It's been a journey.
That's progress, right?
I don't know about progress.
But is modern psychology any better?
Well,
Are they still doing like fucked up experiments on unsuspecting folks?
I mean, hopefully not as much.
Okay, good.
But modern psychology definitely has its issues.
Oh, I bet it does.
Yeah. One of the biggest controversies is this thing called the replication crisis.
The replication crisis.
Yeah. Turns out a lot of those famous studies.
You mean the ones we just talked about?
Yeah, those ones.
Okay.
They can't be replicated.
Wait, so you're telling me that
I'm saying.
all those famous studies
Yeah.
might be bullshit?
They might be.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are we just making this shit up as we go along?
It's possible. And then there's this other problem
Oh, there's more.
called weird bias.
Weird bias.
Weird bias.
What the hell is that?
Okay, it stands for Western,
Okay.
educated,
Makes sense.
industrialized,
Got it.
and democratic.
Okay. Oh, it's so weird.
Turns out most psychology research, most of it
Okay.
is done on these weird folks.
Like who?
Mostly college students.
So you're telling me
I'm telling you.
that all this psychology stuff we think we know
Yeah.
is based on a bunch of like
Yeah.
rich,
Yeah.
spoiled college kids.
Yeah. And you know what?
What?
Can we really apply those findings to everyone else on the planet?
Right.
Like, can we apply it to
Like people who haven't.
people in different cultures?
Yeah.
Different socioeconomic backgrounds?
Yeah.
It's a big fucking question mark hanging over the whole field.
So basically what you're saying is
That's sad.
psychology
Yeah.
might be a giant scam.
Possibly.
Right. All right, take a quick break to refill our drinks,
Okay, good.
process all this mind-blowing and slightly disturbing information.
It's a lot to take in.
Be right back, you beautiful bastards.
We'll be back. All right, so let's dig into some of these juicy subfields of psychology.
Okay, hit me.
We've got biological psychology,
Biological psychology.
which is all about the physical stuff
Okay.
that makes up the mind.
Makes sense.
The brain, the nervous system, hormones, all that jazz.
So like the hardware of the brain.
Exactly. The hardware. They're basically trying to figure out how all that biology
Right.
screws with our thoughts and feelings and actions.
So like, are we just puppets controlled by our genes?
Yeah.
Or can we actually like rewire our brains?
That's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's this crazy, intricate dance between genetics and environment.
Nature versus nurture.
Nature versus nurture.
The classic.
And it's a bitch to untangle. Let me tell you.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Take behavioral neuroscience, for example.
Behavioral neuroscience.
It's like this hybrid of biology and psychology,
Okay.
all about exploring the neural mechanism
Neural mechanism.
behind our behavior.
So like what's actually happening in the brain
Yeah, exactly.
when we do stuff.
When we do stuff.
Okay.
It's getting pretty wild, especially with all the new brain imaging tech we have now.
Brain imaging.
Brain imaging.
That sounds like some straight up sci-fi shit.
It's pretty sci-fi.
So can they like read our minds now?
Not quite mind reading,
Damn.
but it's getting damn close. Okay.
We can actually observe brain activity in real time now.
Whoa.
See which parts light up.
Like a Christmas tree.
Kind of like a Christmas tree. Yeah.
That's awesome.
When we're feeling certain emotions,
Oh, yeah.
making decisions, or doing different tasks.
That's wild.
It's giving us some crazy insights
Yeah.
into how the brain works.
I bet.
But it also raises some ethical questions.
Ethical questions. Like what? Are they going to start judging people
Yes.
based on their brain scans?
Well, imagine if we can pinpoint the exact brain regions
Okay.
associated with certain personality traits
Uh-huh.
or mental disorders.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Could that information be used to discriminate against people?
That's a good point.
Yeah. Could it be used to manipulate people's behavior?
That's some serious Black Mirror shit.
It is some Black Mirror shit.
We need to think about these things,
We do.
especially as the tech gets even more advanced.
Yeah, it's moving fast.
Damn, that's a scary thought.
It is a little scary. But let's get back to the different flavors of psychology.
Okay.
We talked about the biological side.
Right.
But what about how we interact with each other?
Oh, yeah.
Like, how the hell do we even begin to understand
Right.
the madness of crowds?
That's where social psychology comes in.
Social psychology.
These guys study how we interact with each other,
Okay.
how groups can totally fuck with our behavior,
Oh, yeah.
and how social norms shape our perceptions.
Interesting.
It's like studying the human zoo.
The human zoo. I like that.
Except the animals are all wearing clothes
Yeah.
and pretending to be civilized.
Yeah. We try our best.
We do try our best.
So what kind of weird shit have they discovered
Oh, man.
about our social interactions?
There's a ton of mind-blowing findings.
Okay, I'm ready.
For example, studies have shown that we're more likely to conform to group pressure,
Oh, yeah.
even if it means going against our own beliefs.
That makes sense.
Like peer pressure.
peer pressure, totally.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you just want to fit in.
You just want to fit in.
Right.
We also tend to judge people based on their looks.
Oh, come on. That's so superficial.
I know, but we do it.
I guess so.
Their social status.
Oh.
Or even what groups they belong to.
Right.
Even if we don't realize we're doing it.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it's unconscious bias.
And don't even get you started on the power of persuasion and manipulation.
Oh, yeah.
Social psychologists.
They've uncovered some seriously shady techniques
Gay techniques.
that marketers and politicians use to influence our choices.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Those bastards.
They're good at it.
They are.
That's some seriously fucked up shit.
It is.
It makes you want to become a hermit and just avoid people altogether.
I feel that.
But
But we can't all be hermits.
we can't.
We got to interact with people.
We do.
Right.
What about the whole therapy thing?
Oh, yeah. Therapy.
You mentioned clinical psychology earlier.
I did.
Is that where the shrinks and their leather couches come in?
That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
Like a dimly lit room,
Yeah.
leather couch,
Leather couch.
Sigmund Freud's portrait on the wall.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, clinical psychology is all about diagnosing, treating, and preventing mental disorders.
So it's like the branch of psychology that's actually trying to help people
Yeah.
with all the fucked up shit life throws at them.
Exactly.
Like anxiety, depression, trauma, all that.
all of that and more.
So they're basically the frontline soldiers in the war against crazy.
Yeah, I could see that.
The ones trying to keep us from completely losing our shit.
Trying to hold it all together.
Respect.
Yeah.
Clinical psychologists use a bunch of different techniques, right?
Yeah, they do.
Including psychotherapy,
Yeah.
cognitive behavioral therapy,
Uh-huh.
and even medication in some cases.
Sometimes meditation is necessary.
I've always wondered about psychotherapy.
Yeah.
Is it really just lying on a couch and whining about your childhood traumas?
It can be part of it,
Okay.
especially in psychodynamic therapy,
Psychodynamic therapy.
which is heavily influenced by those Freudian theories we talked about earlier.
Right, with the whole Oedipus complex and all that.
Oh, that, yeah.
But there are tons of other types of therapy, right?
Hours.
Tons with its own approach.
Yeah, each one's a little bit different.
Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT for short.
CBT, yeah.
That focuses on identifying and changing negative thought patterns and behaviors.
Exactly.
So it's like giving people the tools to hack their own minds
Kinda. Yeah.
and reprogram their thinking.
Reprogram the negative thoughts.
I'm kind of digging that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But what about those people who don't fit neatly into any category?
Oh, yeah.
What about the folks who are just like generally messed up?
The outliers.
Yeah, what's their diagnosis?
Well, there's a whole field called abnormal psychology
Abnormal psychology.
that focuses on understanding the origins
Okay.
and manifestations.
Of psychological disorders.
It's a complex and controversial area,
I bet.
as the lines between normal and abnormal.
Right, like what's normal anyway?
Exactly.
It's all relative.
It really is.
But by studying these deviations from the norm,
Yeah,
we can gain a deeper understanding of the human psyche
exactly.
and all its quirks.
All the weirdness.
Makes sense.
So psychology has got us covered,
Yeah.
from the biological to the social,
Right.
the clinical to downright abnormal.
I like it.
What else is there?
Oh, don't forget about developmental psychology.
Oh, yeah, developmental psychology.
It looks at how our minds change over our lifespan.
Yeah, from those screaming, pooping infants.
Oh, God, the infant.
To those grumpy old farts yelling at clouds.
Yeah, those guys.
It explores how our cognition emotions,
And social skills develop from cradle to grave,
from the beginning to the end.
right? Developmental psychology.
Yeah.
It's like watching a time lapse
Yeah.
of the human psyche unfolding.
It's pretty fascinating.
Pretty trippy stuff.
It is.
It helps us understand the factors that shape our personalities,
Yeah.
our relationships, and our overall well-being as we grow in age.
It reminds us that the human mind isn't some static thing.
Right.
It's constantly evolving for better or for worse.
That's deep.
It is.
Okay, my brain is officially fried.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We've gone from ancient Greece to brain imaging
To the human zoo.
to the human zoo. We've covered it all.
Psychology is definitely one hell of a wild ride.
It is.
But there's got to be more to it than just theories and research, right?
Yeah.
What about the real-world applications of all this mind-bending knowledge?
Oh, yeah.
How is this shit actually used outside the lab?
That's a whole other rabbit hole.
Oh, I'm ready to go down that rabbit hole.
There are countless ways psychology is applied in the real world.
Okay, give me some examples.
From improving schools
Okay.
and work environments
Right.
to coming up with sneaky marketing strategies
Oh, yeah?
and even influencing public policy.
I'm intrigued. Spill the beans. How does psychology sneak its way into our everyday lives? Okay, let's start with something you're probably familiar with.
Okay.
Psychological testing.
Psychological testing.
Remember those standardized tests you took in school?
Oh, yeah.
Those are based on psychological principles,
Really?
designed to measure things like intelligence, personality traits,
Yeah.
and whether you're cut out for a certain career.
Interesting.
These tests are used everywhere,
Everywhere.
from schools and workplaces,
Okay.
to help select and evaluate individuals.
So it's not just about figuring out if someone's a genius or a complete moron.
No.
These tests can actually help people
Yeah.
figure out their place in the world.
They can give you some insights into your strengths, weaknesses, and
Huh?
areas where you could grow.
That makes sense.
Of course, these tests aren't perfect.
Right.
And shouldn't be the only thing used to make big decisions.
Of course.
But when used the right way,
Yeah.
they can be pretty helpful.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
What other sneaky ways does psychology infiltrate our lives?
Okay, think about all the marketing and advertising
Okay.
you're bombarded with every day.
Every day, constantly.
A lot of that is based on psychology, man.
Really?
Marketers use things like color psychology,
Color psychology.
emotional appeals.
And even subliminal messaging to try and get you to buy their crap.
It's all about tapping into your subconscious desires
Yeah.
and manipulating your behavior.
Those sneaky bastards.
Yeah.
They're messing with our minds
Yeah.
to get us to spend our hard-earned cash.
That's the goal.
Makes you feel like a lab rat in a giant capitalist experiment.
You are a lab rat.
But wait, there's got to be some positive applications of psychology,
Of
right?
course.
It can't all be doom and gloom and mind control.
Yeah, no.
Right.
There's good stuff, too.
Okay, good.
Think about healthcare.
Healthcare.
Health psychology is a growing field
Okay.
that focuses on how our psychology and behavior affect our health and well-being.
So, like, if you're stressed all the time,
Exactly.
you're going to get sick.
Yeah, stress can definitely mess with your health.
It's true.
They're looking at how stress lifestyle choices
Okay.
and even our social support systems
Oh, that makes sense.
can impact our physical health.
I get that.
Yeah.
But are they just telling people to chill out and eat their vegetables?
It's a more holistic approach than that.
Okay.
Health psychologists are involved in everything,
Like what?
from helping people manage chronic pain or lose weight
Right.
to promoting healthier habits
Gotcha.
and even influencing public health policies.
Interesting.
They work with individuals, communities,
Yeah.
and even entire healthcare systems.
Wow, that's a big job.
It is a big job.
To try and make everyone a little bit healthier.
A little bit healthier.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm starting to feel a little less cynical about psychology.
Good.
It's not all mind games and manipulation,
Not all mind games.
but what about the workplace?
Oh, the workplace.
Surely those corporate overlords have found a way to use psychology
Oh,
to squeeze more productivity out of us worker bees.
they've definitely tried.
Right.
That's where industrial and organizational psychology comes in.
Industrial and organizational psychology.
Industrial and organizational psychology.
Or IO psychology for sure.
Biopsychology.
These folks are like the psychologists of the workplace.
The workplace psychologists.
They study things like employee motivation,
Oh, yeah.
job satisfaction,
Gotcha.
team dynamics, and leadership styles.
So they're like corporate whisperers,
Kinda, yeah.
trying to keep those worker bees happy and productive.
Trying to keep everyone happy.
Sounds like a tough gig.
It can be a tough gig.
But IO psychologists play a crucial role
They do.
in helping companies attract and keep good employees,
Yeah,
improve communication and teamwork,
that's important.
and even prevent burnout.
Burnout's a big problem these days.
It is.
They try to make work suck a little less.
So they're not just trying to brainwash us into becoming mindless robots for the corporation.
Ideally,
They
no.
actually care about our well-being.
Who would have thought?
The best IO psychologists understand that happy and healthy employees
Yeah.
are more productive employees.
It's a win-win, at least in theory.
At least in theory.
All right, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
Good.
Psychology is more than just some academic discipline.
It's more than that.
It's got its tentacles everywhere,
It does.
influencing our lives in ways we don't even realize.
In so many ways.
It's a pervasive force shaping how we understand ourselves,
Yeah.
our relationships with others, and the world around us.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Okay, my brain is officially overloaded.
I know, it's a lot.
We've covered everything from ancient Greece
Yeah.
to brain imaging
To the human zoo.
to the human zoo. And now we're talking about corporate psychology and sneaky marketing tactics.
It's all connected.
Psychology is one hell of a wild ride.
It is a wild ride.
But before we wrap things up, I got to ask about the dark side of psychology.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we talked about those messed up experiments earlier.
Right.
What about the ethical implications of knowing so much about the human mind?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Could this shit be used for evil?
That's an important question.
It is.
And it's something that keeps a lot of psychologists up at night.
I bet it does.
The potential for misuse of psychological knowledge
Yeah.
is a very real concern.
All right, you magnificent bastards. We're back for the final round of this psychological beatdown. My brain is still buzzing from all this knowledge, but hit me with your best shot, expert. What other dark secrets does psychology hold?
Well, let's talk about some of the controversies and challenges facing psychology today. We've already touched on the replication crisis and weird bias, but there's more to unpack. For example, there's a growing debate about how technology is messing with our minds and behavior.
Ooh, that's a juicy one. Technology, huh? So are we all just becoming mindless zombies glued to our screens, scrolling through TikTok until our brains melt?
It's not that simple. Although I've seen some people who are pretty damn close. Technology has both good and bad sides when it comes to our psychology.
Oh, I can see that.
On the one hand, it's given us amazing tools for communication, learning, and entertainment,
Right.
but it's also fueling concerns about addiction, social isolation, and our shrinking attention spans.
I can definitely relate to the attention span thing. I mean, just look at me trying to focus on this conversation. But seriously, what are the long-term effects of all this tech overload? Are we all doomed to become dopamine-addicted screen addicts?
That's what psychologists are trying to figure out. There's a ton of research being done on things like internet addiction, social media anxiety, and how constant stimulation affects our brains. The findings are pretty concerning, to say the least. It's like we're playing a giant experiment on ourselves, and we don't even know the rules of the game.
Damn, technology really is a double-edged sword. It can connect us and entertain us, but it can also fuck with our minds in ways we don't fully understand. So where the hell is psychology headed in the future? What kind of mind-bending discoveries are waiting around the corner?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. But I think we'll see even more focus on understanding the brain. Neuroscience and psychology are getting closer and closer, which is leading to some amazing new discoveries about how our brains work. It's like we're finally starting to crack the code of consciousness.
So we're talking about like brain hacking 2.0, sign me up. But seriously, what about the ethical side of all this? Could we end up in a future where we can manipulate our minds with technology? That sounds like some dystopian sci-fi shit.
It's a real possibility, and it raises some serious ethical concerns. We need to have open and honest conversations about the potential risks and benefits of these advancements. Psychologists have a responsibility to make sure their knowledge is used ethically and for the benefit of humanity, not for some messed up mind control scheme.
Well said. Ethics, responsibility, all that good stuff. It's good to know someone is thinking about the big picture. But before we get too philosophical, what's the one thing you wish everyone understood about psychology? If you could drop some knowledge on all the listeners out there, what would it be?
That it's more than just common sense. It's a real science that uses rigorous methods to study the complexities of the human mind and behavior. It's not about quick fixes or easy answers. It's about understanding the intricate web of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. It's a journey of self-discovery, and it can be pretty damn fascinating.
All right, I'll try to remember that next time I'm psychoanalyzing my friends after a few too many beers. But seriously, this has been an epic deep dive. We've covered everything from ancient Greek philosophers to those messed up experiments, the different schools of thought, the practical applications, and even the ethical dilemmas of knowing so much about the human mind. Thanks for dropping some serious knowledge on us, expert. You've given us plenty to think about.
It was my pleasure. I hope you all learned something new about the weird, wonderful, and sometimes terrifying world of psychology.
And to all you listeners out there,
Thanks for tuning in to the Deep Dive. Remember, your brain is a powerful tool. Use it wisely. And if you start feeling like you're losing your shit, don't hesitate to reach out to a professional. There's no shame in asking for help, especially when it comes to your mental health. Until next time, keep those brains firing on all cylinders. And try not to go too crazy out there. Peace out.